right, I know it's old school. I know it's old school, but you cannot beat connecting with people face to face, belly to belly, high five to high five, and handshaking. You cannot beat connecting with people if you want to grow your business when you're trying to do it via technology. You cannot beat by being face to face with everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to JTInTheRaw, show 138, coming to you live from San Diego. I would love to be down there on my boat. That's not my boat, but check that thing out. How gorgeous is that? It is a beautiful day here in San Diego, and I'm here for the International Health, Racquet and Sports Association Conference. Yes, Frosty, good morning to Alan Joyce, who could well be watching this morning in Boston after my little meeting with him this week. So it's a massive, this is like Christmas for the fitness industry in the US. Everybody comes together and we talk about business. There's really not a lot of exercise side of things. It's predominantly business. Good morning, James. Good morning, Connie. Good morning, Brett. JP, I saw you there. How are you? It is, as I say, a gorgeous day here in San Diego. It's fantastic. And I'm actually speaking this afternoon. I'm doing a session on social media for the Russians. There's a huge contingency of Russians here at this event, so I'm going to be speaking to them. And then I will be doing a session on Friday, which is about building a tribe instead of a membership base. So it's a great presentation that's actually relevant to any single industry, but this one will be targeted towards the fitness industry. Morning, Lorena. Morning, Paul. So a big couple of shout outs. Got a huge shout out to all the people here at this event who showed up to the Fitness Business Podcast Walk at 6 a.m. Thank you to everybody there. Huge shout out to all the partners and sponsors of the Fitness Business Podcast that we are catching up with while we're here at this event. It's fantastic. And a big shout out to Robin, who's back at home looking after Zoe. Always when I'm away for a week, it's tough, I know, on partners when your partner is away. Sometimes you probably think it's easier when your partner's away. But yeah, big shout out to Robin for looking after Zoe, so thank you. Good morning, JB. Good to see you on board. Good luck in the first trial match for Norse Rugby this weekend. All the best. So I guess the topic of today's conversation is about this concept of connecting and networking with people. When you come to an event or a conference, you really understand how important it is who you know. It's important how many people you know. It's important the connections that you make for business. I can't tell you that I couldn't estimate at all what the value of my business has been over the years based on the people that I have met and networked at events. And I think in the world that we now live in, we tend to hide a lot behind one of these. It's called a phone, or behind a screen, and we send a message. And I had a very interesting conversation yesterday with the new chair of URSA, who I've met and networked with. And he was saying to me, look, I don't really know you, JT, but I'm friends with you on Facebook. So I know you've got a daughter and I know you've got a wife. Do you have any other kids? No. And I know that you live in Sydney and you do this with the rugby club. Tell me about rugby. And it was fascinating for him to be able to have an understanding about my life that he's seen on social, and then for us to then connect. So it automatically, by us being connected on social platforms, whether it be LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, it allows us to get an idea of who that person is. Good morning, ABT, or afternoon, ABT, Amy Boone Thompson. Jose, great having you on board. And the concept of connecting, getting some IP, some intellectual property about that individual, and then when you're sitting down, you can have a great conversation with them. Regardless of what we do in business, whether we're in sales or whether we're in marketing or human resource management, whether we are a physiotherapist, whether we're a real estate agent, whether we own a gym, the power of connecting is incredible. The power of networking in our community is astronomical. Good morning, Woz. Because I wanted you to think about this. Often in business, we need to get out and we need to do outreach. It's kind of one of the common phrases that we hear in business. We need to go out and we need to connect with people in the community. What does that mean? Well, that means people getting out and learning people's names and knowing who people are. Good morning, Eugene. So the concept that I want us to understand here is probably the most powerful marketing strategy you've got in your business to grow your business is you or your team. And it's getting them out in the community and connecting, contacting people out there in the community. I'll give you an example. One of my clients, we spoke the other day about putting together like a coffee card. You know, when you have a coffee card, you like buy 5 coffees and you get 6 free, or buy 9 and you get the 10th free. And so I made the suggestion, well, what if when they buy 9, instead of giving the 10th coffee away for free, that they actually give a free, in this case it was a personal training session, a free personal training session away for that 10th session. And he goes, oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But here's where it went a bit pear-shaped. When he went down to the cafe owner, who he doesn't really know, he hasn't really networked with and connected with, hi, the Russians. I'm going to be seeing them shortly.
In your blog?
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
This is Irina and Svetlana.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. I'll see you guys at 4:45.
Yeah.
So he didn't really know this cafe owner. So the cafe owner was sitting going, oh, look, I don't really know. Oh, I'm not really sure about this. Really? Now, here's the difference. If the relationship had been fertilized, if it had been grown, instead of just a hi to hi, how are you? I know this about you. I know this about you. I know this about you. He would have had a much better chance of getting an agreement to that campaign. So here's the key that I want you to take away. Will Miller, what are you doing up at this hour? You should be tucked up in bed getting having a late morning sleep in. Is that the right word? So what I want you to be thinking about is going out and connecting in the community with people and building relationships. And let me give you a couple of steps that I like to do when I meet people for the first time. So the first thing is I get their business card and I'll write on their business card where I met them. Morning, Trav, or afternoon, Trav, for you. Hope you're not freezing over there. It's beautiful here in San Diego, mate. So I write where I met them. And then I'll send them an email. And I'll send them an email that says, hey, thanks a lot for catching up with me at Ursa at this convention. It was great to chat about ... And I'm really looking forward to connecting with you on some social platforms. If you think there's anything I can do to help, here we go. Then I'll connect with them on LinkedIn. And I'll also put in that email, if you want to connect on Facebook and get to know me personally, feel free, here's my link. And I'll build that relationship. And then when they go onto Facebook, I can then connect with them. And then, because Facebook has lists, I can then push them into a list that I then want them to be able to guarantee what they can or can't see on my Facebook profile. And that becomes the beginning of the relationship, because often they'll then send me an email back, oh yeah, JT, it was great to meet you too. And then I'll go back to them maybe a month later. So what have you implemented after Ursa? Or, well, how did you find Ursa? Or what did you think of the conference? And try to stimulate some conversation. Now that conversation may only go for 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks at fullest extent, which is 3 or 4 emails. That could be it. But when we come back the following year, we're connected on LinkedIn, we're connected possibly on Facebook, they may be receiving an email newsletter from me, but they've subscribed to that. They've subscribed to the relationship that we're building. Now think about doing that on how you can add value into your community. Think about how you could be adding value to restaurants in the area. Think about how you could, as a physiotherapist, be making connections with local businesses and trying to help them with their posture in the workplace, ergonomic assessments. There's so much possibility that we could have. But I believe, without any shadow of a doubt, the number one way you're going to grow your business is not hiding behind one of these, not hiding behind a screen. It's getting out and meeting people. And the more we meet people at events like this, the more we meet people at a Chamber of Commerce meeting or a BNI meeting, whatever it may be. Brett, good morning, good afternoon, Brett. Look, I'm out in the sun. You should be in a session. I know you're inside somewhere. The more we can connect with people face to face, the bond will be stronger. The bond will be stronger. And I want to almost finished. I want to share one thought that I got out of today's keynote. And what Mel Robbins said today is the power of appreciation. The power of appreciation. She gave the example of Taylor Swift. So what Taylor Swift did was every time she had a concert, she would bring out a very famous guest. Some of those guests have been Kobe Bryant, they've been Serena Williams. She gave another example, I can't remember who it was. But when she started her concert, she had like 12 million followers on Facebook or social platforms or whatever. By the time she'd finished her shows, she'd increased that to 55 million. Here's why. She always took a photo of the guests that she had on stage and she thanked them publicly. She thanked them publicly. She put a photo of them up and she said, hey, thanks Kobe Bryant for coming on stage with me. I really appreciated that. And she shared that on her social platform. So guess what Kobe did? He reshared it. So over the course of this tour that she did where she brought out famous people, she went from 12 million to 55 million followers. It's the power of appreciation. The power of appreciation. So when you meet somebody and you connect with somebody, appreciate, be grateful that they gave you their time, appreciate their connection, and then begin to drive and build that relationship with that person. It's such an important aspect of life. It's just not about business. This is about life. We can't just hide behind our screens. We've got to get out. It's a contact sport. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been JTInTheRaw, show 138, coming to you from sunny San Diego. What'd you think? What do you think of that show? The idea of connecting. Give me a love heart if you like the idea of spending a bit more time, a little bit more energy with people and connecting with them face to face instead of just through devices and through email. I honestly believe the power of relationships is going to come in the future by the people that take the time to meet other people and connect with other people, because everybody else is doing it online. So you can stand out by sitting down and meeting people, whether they're in your local community or whether they're in your industry. What's on? As I said, this afternoon I'm speaking to the Russians. Tomorrow I'm doing a session here on building a tribe and what all that entails. Interesting. I think I'll be the first speaker ever at this event to be talking about the Mormon Church publicly and the Moonies. And some different cults that are running around the world. So really looking forward to sharing some of those insights. Marissa, good afternoon. Hope your session went well for you here. Benny Dullahunty, great having you on board also today. Head home to Australia on Saturday. Go home on Saturday. Be back. What do we get home? Monday morning. Monday morning, back to work all next week. Got a couple of big things next week. Got a big announcement coming out next week for the Fitness Industry Technology Summit, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to miss the trial game for Norse Rugby this weekend. Good luck to the Northy boys in their first trial. And I think that's about it. I think that's it. Is there anything else? Anything else? Did you want to see my boat one more time? There it is. Quote of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, quote of the week. Let me share quote of the week, and that is this. Networking is the contact sport of business. Networking is the contact sport of business. One more time. Networking is the contact sport of business. This has been show 138. If you like that quote of the week, give me a love heart right now. Networking is a contact sport of business. And if you think you know anyone that could get value out of watching this show, like a guy that maybe like Andrew Fitzgerald as an example, morning Fitzy, if you get any value out of this show, please tag people in the comments below, because we want this to go viral. And I would be appreciative as well if you would share it. Have an awesome weekend wherever in the world you are. It's beautiful weather here in San Diego. So it's JT who will catch you on the flip side.